Welcome back to the Sportsmax zone. 11 wickets fell on day 4 of the first test between Sri Lanka and the West Indies in Galle, with the hosts in full control on another truncated day of cricket. At stumps, the Windies were 52 for 6, chasing 348 to secure a highly unlikely victory. West Indies, let's take a look at the scores. The Windies batsmen, they must be sick of the sight of off-spinner Ramesh Mendes after he took 3 for 75 in the first innings. The 26-year-old has so far snared 4 for 17 off 11 overs. His work is complementing that of Dimuth Karunaratne, who struck 83 of 104 balls, his 6th straight half-century, as Sri Lanka declared their second innings on 191 for 4. They set a massive 348 for victory. The Windies batsmen continue to fail to read and play spin, closing day 4 296 runs away with just 4 wickets in hand. So George, today we talk about the West Indies again, despite you having so much hope for them.
No, I didn't have much hope. I was just trying to be optimistic in a moment in the game when anything was possible. They could have done so, but although their record didn't suggest that they would have done it.
All right, so a bad day at the office, a bad test.
Like the usual day at the office and the usual performance in the test, especially away.
Yeah, very, very disappointing. And you know, it's at the point, and the reason I'm bringing up this discussion is because our CWI president, Ricky Scarrett, recently said that there will be no knee-jerk reactions. And he was speaking about the dismal form in the T20 World Cup. So I'm wondering if what we're seeing from the West Indies right now will result in a knee-jerk reaction. And should there be one, some kind of reaction?
I don't know. The West Indies have become an embarrassment at test level. The reason the T20 shambles at the World Cup hurt so deep is because the West Indies are a world-class T20 unit. That's a fact. 50 over cricket, not so much, almost like the test situation. But the test situation is bad. We've been rancid as a test-playing nation for a long time now. And I challenge anyone to tell me to spin and to advance a narrative about West Indies cricket at the test level that has not been advanced already. What is the new point of criticism? What's the new recommendation?
And there's none.
There is nothing. As a sportscaster, I feel embarrassed talking about the West Indies
because you feel like you say
level,
the same thing.
because we say the same things over and over again. We are disappointed over and over again. This team is awful over and over again. The players are underperforming in the same way. There is nothing left to do. I think teams play the West Indies in Test cricket because they have to.
Yeah, and they think of it as easy points.
So as someone said recently, if a bowler wants to pad up his statistics, he plays the West Indies. If a batsman wants to improve his average and his strike rate and everything, he plays the West Indies.
It's so sad that we've come to this, George, because of where we're coming from. It's extremely sad. And I just, the biggest problem I have is why not make some changes, we look at how we struggle against spin. That is a problem we have. Why not work on the problem? Or is it that work is being done and just the players are so hard-headed that they're not getting the formula? Is it that their batting coach or bowling coach has communication issues that it's not getting through to them?
Mariah, those questions have been asked about 16 million times over. And the reason you ask them again is because the answers have not been given.
We haven't gotten
and that's
them.
The point. Right. So I'm just saying that, to tell the truth, I don't know what to say about West Indies cricket. I must tell you the truth. It may seem to be a curious admission, but I have run out of ways to ask the same questions, to go down the same routes of inquiry, to try to get from those who are in charge some idea of how do we plot a course away from this point. The West Indies are just rank as a test cricket playing nation. Other nations play us because they have to. We have no plan. We have no plan as to how we're going to get out of this situation. And yeah, it's just much of nothingness. West Indies Test
today
cricket.
I have to say I was so disappointed in the batting to see Nkrumah Bonner being the top scorer with 18 runs. And then I looked at the scores and everything was single digits, a lot of zeros and whatnot. And I just have to say it shows the man of dismissal at first it just shows that, there's no logic and no thinking. How can you practice for a match, George, and you get out in your first ball? Like, I mean, this is what you've been working on, so you don't apply all the stuff that you learn. Like, it just makes me wonder. It comes as if, I spend the entire day preparing for the show and then I come on and I don't talk.
I am numb to what the West Indies does at Test cricket because they have desensitized me, because they've disappointed me and so many fans in this region over and over again, and it's the same thing. It's the same darn thing. I want to say something stronger than darn, but
no.
This is a family program after all, so I'll settle for that. So the fact that it doesn't bother me anymore is a problem, because it ought to. My team is losing a test match and losing test series and being embarrassed, and we are celebrating beating Bangladesh, and oh my God, this man is walking runs. He is in brilliant form, and when that man plays against a decent team, he looks ordinary. We look ordinary as a team. I'm so over it.
So in the second test, you're expecting changes? Improvement.
Mariah, I wish it was not part of my obligation to talk about West Indies as a Test cricket nation. I really wish
Well,
so.
you know what? I'll give you that wish. We're going to go to a break.
There you go.
All right,
Thank
commercial break time. We'll be back.